All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to dig into something we usually just take for granted, the whole idea of nature's laws. We're going to explore a really fascinating perspective that might just flip how you see the entire universe. So let's jump right in. You've heard this a million times, right? The laws of physics are the unbreakable rules of the cosmos. They supposedly govern everything, from an apple falling off a tree to how galaxies spin. We're taught they're these absolute truths that science went out and found.
But here's the real kicker, the central question we're tackling today. What if this entire way of thinking is just wrong? What if nature doesn't actually follow any laws, simply because there are no laws to follow in the first place?
Okay, so the argument we're unpacking is that these laws of physics aren't discovered like some ancient treasure. No, they're invented. They are a completely man-made system that we designed to try and describe what we see around us.
So let's just rewire our definition for a second. A physical law isn't some cosmic rule that nature has to obey. It's just our description of a pattern we've noticed, written down with symbols and definitions that we, as humans, made up. Nature really doesn't care about our paperwork.
Let's break down what one of these laws is actually made of. Take the big one, F equals ma. The letters F, M, and A, they're just symbols we invented. The whole idea of what force even is, that's a definition we came up with. It's all built on how we humans see and interpret things. And because it's a human process, well, that means our so-called laws can sometimes be flat out wrong.
And this rabbit hole gets even deeper when you start to pay attention to the words we use. Think about it. We say nature obeys laws, or that it behaves in a certain way. But does it really? Or are we just projecting our own human ideas about rules and order onto a universe that couldn't care less? So, let's put these two views side by side. The traditional view says nature is like a citizen that has to obey and behave according to some rules. But the perspective we're exploring today suggests something totally different. Nature doesn't obey anything. It just changes. It doesn't behave, it just has properties. Okay, so if there's no rule book, how does everything work so consistently? I mean, things are predictable, right? Well, this next part explains how the universe can work perfectly fine without needing to follow any prescribed rules. The logic here is actually super clean. It all starts with nature having its own built-in properties, things like mass, charge, you name it. Step 2, these properties naturally cause consistent, predictable changes. Then, we humans come along and we notice these patterns, and only then, at the very end of this whole process, do we invent a law to describe the pattern we just saw. So our law is the result of what happened, not the cause. And this right here, this is the mic drop moment, the central claim. Nature has absolutely no need for laws. It just is. It works perfectly on its own without needing any instruction manual from us. I mean, think about it. For a law to really be a law, the thing it's governing would have to somehow know about it, read it, and decide to follow it. But the universe doesn't have to do any of that. Does a planet need to read a physics textbook to stay in orbit? Of course not. It's totally independent of our equations. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Okay, so is science wrong? Should we just throw it all out? No, absolutely not. This shift in thinking isn't about rejecting science. It's about getting a much clearer and, frankly, a more honest understanding of what science actually is. Probably the best way to wrap your head around this is with a simple analogy. Think of a map of a city. That map is incredibly useful, it's essential for getting around. But the map is not the city itself. Our scientific laws are the map. Nature is the territory. So what's the big takeaway here? What does this mean for us? Well, it means science is our best tool for describing reality, not for dictating it. It's a powerful reminder that our understanding is constantly evolving. It's a work in progress, not the final word. It means, yeah, some of our current maps might be wrong or incomplete, and maybe most importantly, it gives us a really healthy dose of humility about our place in the cosmos. And that leaves us with one last big question to chew on. If every law we have today is just our current best map, our best human story we tell about the universe, then what amazing new discoveries, what mind-bending new properties, what breathtaking new landscapes will tomorrow's map reveal?